Hello, in this brief video tutorial, we're going to discuss how you can use Google Slides to create quick assignments for your students to complete. We'll also discuss how you can upload these assignments into Google Classroom so your students can access them, work on it, and turn it into you for credit. So to get started, you do want to open up a blank Google Slide template. You can do so by going to slides.google.com in your address bar. You have a couple options of slides presentations to open, but we'll just start with a simple blank presentation. Now we have a basic black and white background, and you can decide if you want to spruce it up, make it stand out a little bit more. It's completely up to you. I just so happen to want to use one of these themes on the side here. I'm just going to go with the paradigm theme, just so it looks a little bit more, stands a little bit more than a black and white background. Now to get started, you do want to think about, well, what type of assignment are you going to give them? And what are the objectives of the assignment? So we're now working on a lesson about body systems, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I want the students to be able to tell me what the body systems are and what is their function. So maybe I want to give them a drag and drop vocabulary assignment. So before I even get started asking questions or creating something for the students to work on, it's a good idea to create a title for your assignment. And a title that will stand out so it's easy for you to find the assignment, upload the assignment, and eventually grade the assignment. So in the upper left corner where it says Untitled Presentation, I'm just going to say Body System Functions, because that's the objective of my assignment is for the students to determine the body system functions. Now, right here it says click to add title. This could be instructions. This could be a title of the assignment. And I think I'm going to go with the title of the assignment, Body System Functions. Now you can toy around with this, adjust it, make things bigger, make things smaller, because you do want to keep in mind the amount of space you have to work with. But I'm going to create a drag and drop assignment where my students are going to match the body system to its function. So I'm going to put over here in this little text box some instructions. Drag and drop the body system to its function. Your instructions would be totally based on your assignment and your content that you want to address. Now, the easiest way I found to do this is to actually use tables. I tend to use tables and shapes a lot, especially for drag and drop assignments. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I want my students to give me a function and give me the body system. So I'm going to use a 2-column table. And I'm only going to ask them 3 questions. So now I have a little table here. And the first thing I want to fill out is the function. That's one of my objectives my students want to reach, is what is this, the function of this body system. And I'm going to put the body system. You could toy around with the template itself. You could toy around with the fonts, however you choose to do so. But my first question is, this body system controls the entire body. Something simple question. This body system is responsible for gas exchange. This body system pumps blood. Real quick, simple template of questions. Now, my assignment has the students drag and drop the body system to its function. So one of the easiest ways to do that is to actually add a shape. So I like to add a shape, and I like to kind of put the shape into where eventually the students are going to drag and drop it. So I have a shape that fits the body system box, and I'm going to kind of put over here to the side. Now you do want to keep in mind some of the colors you use. You might want to keep in mind some of the sizes of your lines you want to use, and also the size of your font. So I'm thinking, all right, I have three body systems, and I do want to write those three in. And the three body systems I'm using are the respiratory, the circulatory, and the nervous system. Now, to make things a lot easier, I can go ahead and click my first option, respiratory system, and I can hit the copy button, which of course is Command C, or you can hit the copy button, and I can hit Command V to paste. And then I can just fill out the other systems that I wanted my students to learn, the nervous system, and of course the circulatory system. So now my students, when they access this assignment, would simply have to go in and drag and drop the answers to where they go. Real quick task, pretty good way to use as a warm-up or as a refresher of some content you might have taught your students. And this can be done through many different types of assignments you might have. Another type of assignment I like to add is sometimes I want my students to watch a video and maybe tell me a little bit something about what they learned from the video. So we're learning about body systems, so I might want to go to YouTube and I might want to go into, all right, body systems. Big fan of the Amoeba Sisters, big fan of Crash Course, but perhaps this is a body system video that I want to download, that I want my students to watch. So a good rule of thumb is to go to the address bar, hit Control C or copy it, edit copy, and then go back to your assignment. Because I want to insert this video into my task that I want my students to complete. So if I go to this Insert tab right here, I can hit Video. We already have a YouTube option, and I'm just going to hit Command V or Control V, which will paste that YouTube video that I just uploaded or looked at. So now I have this video for my students to have access to, and I can size it and shape it where I want it to go. And I could give the students some sort of instructions, watch this video, and to answer this question. And I might want to ask the question, what body system stood out to you the most? Watching the video. Now, you have all the creativity in the world to edit the slide, make it look how you want it to look. I, again, just so happen to like to add shapes, somewhere for my students to respond and fill out their answer. But the option is completely yours. I would expect my students to, write their answer in this box here. I really love the lymphatic system, whatever it might be. So real quickly, I was able to make two different types of assignments using Google Classroom, Google Slides. They look kind of clean and fresh. Sometimes you might want to add images just to make it stand out a little bit more, be a little bit more interesting. You can always go to the insert image, search the web, and I might want to say body systems, because this is a body system activity. And I can kind of just drag and drop, a picture that might stand out a little bit more. Just real quick, simple ways to spruce up your assignments a little bit more, make them a little bit more interesting and fascinating for your students to look at. So now you have this task you want your students to complete. In this example, I want them to watch a video, respond to a real quick question about the video, and I want them to drag and drop some labels about the different body systems. So how do I get this to my students? The easiest way to do so is to go to classroom.google.com, of course. You have your class that you most likely have already created. You would go to classwork, hit create, and just hit assignment. Of course, you want a good title, body system, labeling, perhaps whatever your title might be. Always add instructions. But I'm going to hit add, and that assignment is in my Google Drive. Now, of course, this is why it's important to know your titles and have good, strong titles for your assignments so it's easy to find. But since I just created it, it's going to probably be one of the first options I have here. But for other purposes, I might want to type it in body system functions so I can find the assignment I want the students to work on. There it is. I would hit add. Now, I want the students to have their own individual copy of this assignment. So the original option is students can view file. That's not what you want. If you want the students to work on something, you want to change this option right here to make a copy for each student. So they have their own blank copy of this assignment, very similar to maybe what a worksheet would be, but now it's a digital type of worksheet. And of course, you can assign point values, you can assign a due date, you can put it as a topic. But once you're done, you hit the assign tab. Now your students have that task to complete. They can eventually work on it, turn it into, and you can grade it. So hopefully that video helped out a little bit, just giving you ideas on how to quickly create assignments. Now it's kind of up to you what type of creativity you want to put into it, what type of questions you want to ask, and what are your overall objectives for your students. So thank you and have a good one.